This is it. It's the last race to make the chase forward at Richmond. 12 drivers are going to leave happy and in contention for a championship. The rest of the drivers are going to go home just looking for wins for the final 12 races on the season. Carter Friesen, one of them in the chase picture, has the pole for this race. He's 41 points outside the top 10 points, but with the win could steal a wildcard spot. Two outside drivers locked in with an all-star win. Lou Jack Tables, 132 points ahead of 11th in points. Then 30 of John Gammett, James Tableo in 4th, and Jay Jefferson rounds out the top 5. Nathan Stapleton is 6th, Colton Yo 7th, Justin Zidell in 8th, Danny Lloyd 9th, and rounding out the top 10, Cole Luigi in the 42. The rest of the field, Stephen Baker with Eli Bright. Then there's Carson Bowers and Mac Johnson, Derek Hamill and Dale Lightning. They have Jonathan Beeford and Steve Morgan, Jake Galloway and Joe Jefferson. Then there's Steve Larker and Andrew Miller, Stephen Taylor, who's locked in with 3 wins, and Alexander Rowe, who has to finish 21st or better. He has a win this season as well. They have Jake West and Luke Rainey finish 18th or better. They have Patrick Smith and Taylor Brian Price, along with Diego Gapez with Trey Rainey. And they have Griffin Lynn and Tyler Fink. Sebastian Kukulon needs to stay top 20 points to use those 2 wins as wildcard spots, and Isaac Nichols in the 48. They have Larry Bouchard Jr. with Jeff Bright, Jonathan Rains with Benny Watson. They have Max Sampson locked into the top 10 points with Riley Sampson the 18, and in the front row, TJ Hanley, the points circle in the race, he's locked into the top 10 points. Jack Marshall in the 22 is outside, trying to stay inside the top 10, but he has 2 wins he could fall back on in case he falls outside the top 10. There's your starting lineup for the last race to make chase forward at Richmond. Let's get going with our starting command.
For today's command, Bobby Allison.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Give your seatbelts a little tug there for me there, buddy. Get a little drink of Gatorade. Be safe. Have some fun, all right?
As our four-car field rolls off the starting grid, the top 10 may look pretty set in stone. It's not set in stone. Neither is the wildcard spot. So much can happen. We'll talk about later in the race and maybe under a yellow flag if we get one. 60 laps for Richmond to make the chase. Carter Friesen, Louis Jack Taylor on pole, and we are green at Richmond. Friesen did not get off turn 2 well, and that allows John Gammett to move to the inside, take the advantage with his teammate behind Jay Jefferson. They go through 3 and 4, Jefferson to the bottom lane. Off of 4, they race Jefferson in the 78 for 5th, will lead lap 1. Colton Neal, the 37, come behind. And then there's Danny Lloyd, who has to finish 12th. Already he's in the top 10 points. He has 2 wins. He's coming 3rd on the inside. He can try and get up here and lead lap, get 5 bonus points to help him ensure a spot in the chase. Down the backstretch for a second, he's side by side with Jay Jefferson, slides up just a little bit there. Some contact with the 78 off of 4. That allows Eli Bright, the 88, to take advantage. Eli has a lot that can go right for him, but a lot that can also go wrong. He's outside the top 20 with a win. If he gets a win, he can try and get Sebastian Kukulon in points. If he doesn't get a win, he can hope the 3, the 34, the 13, and the 27 fall below him in points. He has a lot that can go right, a lot that can go wrong for him here tonight. He's going to come off of 4 and try and lead lap number 3. Mac Johnson, who finished 2nd here earlier in the season. His teammate come to the inside as the 88 led that lap. Mac Johnson takes the race lead. Derek Hamill in the 55 coming through. Here comes Jonathan Beefer in the 33. As you got Jake Galloway in the 11 coming to the front. Carter Friesen from the post found way back down low. Some contact with Colton Yo there though. And they were rubbing hard there. Friesen tried to get to the inside. 37 tried to get down low as well. And up front, Derek Hamill for the race lead as they approach turn 1. He gets over Mac Johnson. Hamill clears and tries to pull away. Beefer does get to 2nd down the backstretch. Here comes Jake Galloway, Carter Friesen down the top 5. Here comes Steve Larker, Colton Yo back to the inside. Danny Lloyd, Eli Bright starting to fan on the outside. Alexander Rowe in the 72, we mentioned 21st or better, would lock him definitely in the chase. But from what we've been seeing the past 2 races, you don't have to finish where it says you need to finish. You can finish wherever, and it's looking like it will be alright if you finish, say, 30th or something like that. It all just depends on how drivers outside the top 10 in points do. Jake Galloway took over the race, but Carter Friesen wants it. He's 41 points out of the top 10 in points with a win, so he's close to the top 10 in case Jack Marshall or Trey Rainey or someone just in have some issues. He can try and get up there. Down the backstretch, Steve Larker now for the races. They hit 3 and 4. Here comes Colton Yo down to the inside. They're going to go 3 wide for the race lead down the front. Larker leads to the left. Yo is to the inside. Friesen to the outside. And they're 3 wide entering turn 1. Close racing there. Friesen goes up the racetrack. Colton Yo clears easily. Jake Galloway going for a 2nd in the 11 car. Mac Johnson has found his way back down low in the 24. They go through 3 and 4. Alexander on the 72. There's Patrick Smith. Trey Rainey coming up to the front in the 95 car. Mac Johnson now for the 2nd position on Galloway. He moves to the inside trying to get by him. Colton Yo went with the racetrack. He'll drop back and possibly out of the race. Mac Johnson's going to clear in 3 and 4. New race leader 24 back out front. We saw the pace he had earlier in the season, just getting beat out by teammate Isaac Nichols, looking to get back to victory lane, trying to do it here at Richmond. Alexander Rowe takes the race lead. Patrick Smith to the inside. Smith needs these 5 bonus points badly because he's just inside the top 20 with a win. So another win would be big. Contact with Alexander Rowe. Up the track they go. 34, almost in the wall. He does scrape the wall as they come off a 4. There are 4 wide down the first. It's sorted up, but the 34 is falling back. Patrick Smith into the wall. He's got too high. Into the wall he went. And he drops back outside of the top 10. Trey Rainey in the 95 gets to the race lead. He led that lap for 5 bonus points. Zidell in the 22 is inside now as they battle off a 4. Rainey leads again. Zidell back to the bottom. Colton Yo in 3rd, but Carter Friesen pressuring from the pole up to 4th, 3rd, 2nd for the 38. Eli Bright coming back up to the front. Danny Lloyd behind him. A lot of these drivers needing great nights. So far they're doing it. Some great racing at the front here at Richmond. Even towards the back. I think, is that Max Aarons I see back there? He started at the back. He's working his way forward. I think I just saw the 47 was working his way on the inside, moving forward. Max Aronson trying to get up here. Here comes Luke Ray trying to break his way into the top 18. We said that's where he needs to finish to ensure a spot in the chase. He can honestly finish a little bit lower because you're assuming if you have to finish there that 11th on back in points have perfect nights, and that's obviously very ridiculous to think. Eli Bright took the race lead. Trey Rainey back to it in the 95. He raced down the backstretch to grab the race lead from Eli Bright in the 88. Rainey way up the racetrack. Here the tires squealing there as he tried to turn the car. Gonna keep the racing in the lap, but Danny Lloyd come to the bottom lane in the 19th car. He mentioned 12th or better for him, but he has 2 wins, so if he has some sort of issue like a crash or something, he can fall outside the top 10 and try and focus on those 2 wins for wild cards. Galloway clears. He's out front now. Well, look at these 3 JGR cars. 1, 2, 3. Galloway leads Lloyd. They have Zidell in 3rd. The only car missing from the JGR camp is the 18 Riley Sampson. He's a little bit further back. He's 15th right now. So inside the top 15. JGR having a pretty good day. But now they're 3 wide down the back stretch. The 2 of them. Zidell and Galloway are up top. And down low is Colton Yo with some contact there between teammates. That Galloway let Zidell go there, knowing that that wouldn't benefit either of them if that were to happen. We'll take a look at maybe some big names that are trying to make the chase some very sensitive situations. Jack Marshall, he's 38th on track with Carter Friesen up front running so well. This is horrible for Marshall. He's 10th on the cut line. He has 2 wins, so if he falls outside of the top 10 points, he can try and use those 2 wins as wildcard spots. But you see back here, Jack Tavo is currently scored at the back. He's 41st, and Kukulon's 42nd. Sebastian Kukulon cannot, this is horrible for him. We mentioned he's only 32 points above 20th. He has those 2 wins. If he falls outside 20th, he's not going to be able to use those 2 wins as wildcard spots. And currently scored 42nd. Luigi Octavo, if he falls out, he automatically takes a wildcard spot. He's currently scored 41st, only 132 points above 11th in points. Now that does seem like a lot, but when you're running back there and some of these drivers up front are running where they are, it can be close. Kukulon could fall outside the top 20, give a wildcard spot to someone else. And that's insurance for Jack Marshall right there. Marshall, he can't be worrying about, falling outside the top 10, then worrying that the A3 might fall and take a spot, and then worrying that the 3's going to get up there past him. He can now just worry about running his own race and trying to just keep a wildcard spot. Because as of now, it could be Marshall and Octavos the 2 wildcards, but if that changes, Friesen, if he doesn't get into the top 10 points, because I don't see that 38 up towards the front, he may have fallen back a little bit. Yes, he's back in mid-pack now, so Friesen, he might not even be in a position now to try and pass Marshall. It could be the 22 still keeping a top 10 spot. This wildcard spot could change drastically throughout the race. Hanley fighting his way up towards the front. There's Larry Bouchard Jr. coming up to the front as Stephen Baker leads. Danny Lloyd back to the inside. Jonathan B. for the 33 coming forward. And I see Luke Rainey emerging into the top 5. That 2 crew doing a great job battling from a 26th starting position. He's inside the top 5. Wants to get up here and lead lap for 5 bonus points. He grabs 4th from the 18 Riley Sampson. Now Lucas trying to become the only driver that is going to make all 3 chases this season, which is a pretty big achievement. He made the truck chase by about 10 points, maybe even 5. Made the target chase by a pretty good amount. Now he's in position to make the Gatorade Cup Series chase and this could be the first time that a driver's made all 3 chases since I believe Jeff Wright did it back in the Gatorade Cup Series season number 5. He won the Target Series championship that season for his 2nd championship in the Target Series. Luke Rainey right now runs third behind Stephen Baker and Danny Lloyd, with the battle for fourth behind Patrick Smith moving to the inside. Jonathan Buford to gain a spot. Larry Bouchard Jr. the 17 coming forward. Justin Zeidel. Here comes Diego Yepez. Yepez is 105 points out of the cutoff. He needs a miracle to happen. And look at Baker driving up the track into Lloyd. 19 had to let off there. He did not want to crash. He knows he's in the top 10. He can just let off here. He did just say he did not want to crash his race car. Not want to end his race early. Luke Rainey clears for the race. He has 34. Slid out. Larry Bouchard Jr. contact there for second. Great racing at the front here at Richmond. Bouchard Jr. up the track. Maybe using the 96 up. He saw what the 96 did to the 17, thinking he could do it to the 96 there. Patrick Smith for second now as Luke Rainey has pulled away to a pretty good gap. He's going to lead some laps here. That's exactly what he wants. He just wants to lead laps. Baker and Larry Bouchard Jr. but going at it. Yepez there and then one rubbing off the 96. Yepez needs a miracle, but the two way up the racetrack, and Patrick Smith takes the race lead back over. This is big for Smith as well. He's 102 points, or 112 points out of the top 10, but with a win, he could get a wildcard spot. But how about some of, like, what's happening with the wildcard spot right now? Because we have Kukulon, who could fall outside the top 20 points. We have Marshall, who could fall outside the top 10. We have Friesen trying to make his way into the top 10. We have Octavio that could fall out. So much can happen. It's all happening here at this 3/4 mile short track in Richmond. We're almost halfway through the race. Yepez in the 1 is now up front leading this race. How about Diego Yepez trying to get out there? Jake Galloway up to third in the 11. Luke Rainey blocked the door right now. 1-2 running 1-2. It's Yepez and Luke Rainey 1-2. They have Jake Galloway in third. Patrick Smith fourth. Colton Yo fifth. Here comes Galloway to the inside. 31 laps to go. Will be 30 next time by. Galloway's going to try and lead at halfway. Looks like he's going to do just that. He pulled away easily from the one of Yepez, who's battling for a second with Colton Yo. They go through 3 and 4. Jake Galloway lead halfway. 30 laps to go in the last race. Make chase 400. Everyone's seasons depend on this race. Kukulon off pace. Back half a lap ahead of the leaders. Octavo is currently scored 40th. We have had a car DNF. It's the 22 Jack Marshall, 2 laps down. Yes, Marshall had to come down pit road for some sort of issues. 2 laps down now. 40 seconds, so big. 3 big names. Kukulon is trying to stay top 20, 41st. And there's a yellow crash on the front stretch. Alexander Rose involved. Is Griffin Lynn involved? Is that the 15 Taylor Bryan Price? This is a huge caution for Kukulon and Octavio, who can get caught up right here. But the yellow flag is out. We're racing back. Oh my gosh! Eli Bryce just nailed Steven Taylor, and some of your race leaders are in it. Who led them back? It was the one Yepez. Look at the damage he has. Yepez is slowed from the race lead with damage. Baker was second, but he has damage. Eli Bright was third, but he has damage. Your race leader cannot be Colton Yo, Patrick Smith, Larry Bouchard Jr., some others that got slowed down in time. There's Alexander Rowe with damage. To the 72, he was in the top 10. The leaders have hit the pits. Eli Bright's done. Yepez is done. Baker's come down pit road. Luckily, everyone else is as well. Doesn't look like the damage is too bad to that 96 car, but these are going to be the pit stops of the night. These are the only time these drivers will be on pit road. We're after halfway. Eli Bright. It was looking so good for him to try and make the chase. Now he's out. Yepez is looking good for him to try and make the chase. He's out. 2 contenders have fallen here at Richmond. Stephen Baker, can he lead them off pit road? 4 tires and away he goes. See some of the damage there, but it's a short track. It should not affect that car at all. Baker leaves, and he should be first off the pit lane. Looks like he is. Stephen Baker, 4 tires and away for him. Marshall stays, obviously, he had hit the pits under green, so he should be a lap car there. So Steph Baker leads him off pit road just as he came in, but we'll see what brought the caution. Steven Taylor in the 31, one of them involved. He's done for the night. This was hard racing inside the top 10 as we were focusing back on some of the drivers at the back. Steven Taylor kind of overdrives the corner. He gets hit by Jay Jefferson up the track. He goes, he's sideways, comes down to Luke Rainey, and then spins the 31 around hard to the outside while Rainey does get some damage there, but does a great job keeping that car straight. Then here comes some others. Benny Watson. Friesen does a great job missing. Joe Jefferson. There's Alexander Rowe getting lifted up off the ground. Andrew Miller in it. In the 43, there's Joe Jefferson. There's the 15 spin ahead, and some drivers trying to miss, like Tyler Fink, Steve Larker. Griffin Lynn gets it stopped against the wall. Remember, he is just in. He has to finish 10th or better. He's just in. Marshall gets it slowed. Octavio gets through. But then here come your race leaders, Stephen Baker, and all of them, like the one of Yepez. 96 is slowing up. He's checking up. The 34 checks up as well. The one, the 88, see this as position to try and take these spots away. The one gets hit by the 31. I think Taylor was really in the wrong there coming up across the racetrack. Look at this here. Yeah, the third one's down the apron. He comes up the track, and the one in the 88 hard on the gas trying to get those positions back, but there are damaged cars up ahead. But the third one, look how he pulls up the racetrack. How could you expect that if you're the 1 or the 88? Everyone else, Colton Yo does get some damage there, but they do a great job getting slowed down, getting away without more damage than what they were going to get. So with the 1 the 88 out, the chase picture once again takes another twist. Stephen Baker leads at Richmond in the last race to make the chase 400. Coming back green, lap number 38, Stephen Baker leads the race, but the story is about the chase. From that crash, Taylor ran Price out. Stephen Taylor was 124 points above the cutoff. He has a wildcard spot, definitely, but if he falls outside the top 10, he steals a wildcard spot from someone who may want one. Alexander Rowe had to finish 21st, but he has a win. Could he fall outside the top 10 and change all this? Andrew Miller out of the race. Diego Yepes trying to get into the chase. He will officially be done with that. So is Eli Bright. Marshall's a lap down the 22. He's trying to make the chase. He's just on the bubble. Carter Freezer, who's also on the bubble, is on the lead lap, currently scored 17th. Stephen Baker leads. We'll go through the field slowly here so you can see where you are. Lockhart lap down. Octavo's a lap down. Larker. Lynn is a lap down. There's Bowers. Stapleton's a lap down. Kukulwan is a lap down. Joe Jefferson, Jack Marshall. Your top 5. Baker, Smith, Gambit, Bouchard Jr., Code Luigi. We're back racing. On lap number 38, Baker leads. Code Luigi can now make the chase with so many contenders falling by the wayside. Eli Bright is one of his contenders to try and make the chase in a wildcard spot. Luigi has to win this race. Patrick Smith has gotten away. The problem for Cole Luigi is he would have to beat Patrick Smith. But Smith running so well, such a great deal ahead of Cole Luigi. I think that third Ford might be involved in a crash here. Marshall moving out of the way. He's going to fall 2 laps down again. So Patrick Smith leads. Another Ford behind in second. Here comes Larry Bouchard Jr. Cole Luigi going for third right here in the 42. He takes it. But Stephen Baker coming back. He's restarted the first position, fell back, but here he is now fighting back to the inside. Marshall looking back to the inside. 3 Fords breakaway, 1 of them lap car as he moves to 17th up the track. Patrick Smith at the racetrack as well. Jack Marshall laps himself. He's back 1 lap down. Smith keeps the race lead. Here comes Cole Luigi, driving right to the bottom lane. Oh, he may have given the third Ford bump up the racetrack. Smith way up the track. Luigi through to the race lead. First time he's led all night. 20 laps to go for the 42 Season 5 champion. Try and make the chase for the 3rd season in a row, but he has to win. He has to hope some others fall back. Stephen Baker to second. Jay Jefferson, John Gambit, Jefferson's teammate. And here comes a lap car of Octavo, trying to mix things up in the A3. Luigi still leads, but he's in a battle with lap car Jack Marshall. 19 laps of racing to go. Cole Luigi at the track. Here comes Stephen Baker. He'll take the race lead back. Jay Jefferson for second. Cole Luigi back to third, possibly even fourth. John Gambit drives to the inside, trying to look for that spot, but can't get it. Here comes Jay Jefferson and Stephen Baker. Some contact for the race lead. Jefferson to the inside. 18 laps of racing to go. Jay Jefferson drives it hard to the bottom in 1 and 2 to take the spot. And now it's going to be a furniture row. 1, 2. Jay Jefferson leads. John Gambit second. Third place is now going to be Jonathan Buford as he moves to the inside in the 33 car. Luigi Octavo trying to unlap himself in the A3. Wants to get up here in case a yellow comes out. Octavo trying to do everything he can to unlap himself. 17 to go. Currently scored 29th as Jay Jefferson leads. He's won here in the Target Series before. Comes Octavo to the bottom lane, the A3 car. He's going to lap himself from the 78. Jay Jefferson is going to try and pull away. Now the A3 looks like it's flying ever since some adjustments they've made. He was at the back of the field, but now he's in front of your race leader, Jay Jefferson. Basically going to get lapped again as the 78 moves back to the inside. But this battling is allowing second on back to try and reel these drivers in. Here comes Jonathan Beaver. Here comes Steve Larker. Here comes the 2 Luke Rainey's in the top 5. TJ Hanley's come out of nowhere. Here he is inside the top 10. Imagine if he were to win another race this season. I want to talk about a driver that we haven't talked about that's still in the chase picture. Jeff Brand, the 5's currently scored 16th. He's been so quiet all race long. He's been with this front pack. We've seen him. We just haven't had anything to talk about him with. Here he's now scored inside the top 15. He can get up to 13th. And oh, crash! Baker's up in the air in the 96. Patrick Smith is involved. And cars are spinning. There are a ton of cars. That Max Anderson, so many cars. Where's Carter Freezer? I saw him in the grass. How much damage does he have in the 38? The leaders have already raced back. Jonathan Buford at the race lead. Hard crasher Stephen Baker up off the ground. He goes. His night done here at Richmond. Caution number 2 comes out with 15 laps to go. Stephen Baker, the 96, running up high. Patrick Smith is down low in the 34. He overdrives the corner up into Code. Luigi sends them both up into the 96. Baker hits the wall, gets up off the ground. Luigi does a great job giving that car straight getaway. And then Smith Gets some damage right there, and here comes some cars sliding in there, and around goes Jeff Brand, the fight we just talked about him. Mac Johnson, there's Stabler, there's Friesen spinning down low. He gets on the inside wall a little bit. Sampson, Nichols, Trey Rainey, Tyler Fink, Colton Yo, Derek Hamill, Steve Morgan. Benny Watson comes in and nails the 96 at the end hard. And this gives up a late race restart, and out front it's going to be Jonathan Buford. He just took the race lead from Jay Jefferson. A hard crash for Baker. Nathan Stapleton is one of them. Cole Luigi's also battling, but Stapleton just got some positions right there. This is going to be close because now Patrick Smith is going to be back there with some of the damage cars. Look at all the damage to some of these drivers. Look at them trying to get going. So back in front, Jonathan Buford leads with under 15 laps to go. The last race to make chase 400 is heating up. Who will make the chase for season number 7 of the Gatorade Cup Series? We'll find out in this final dash to the finish. Will be under 10 laps of racing to go. 9 laps of racing to go to determine our 12 chase drivers. From that crash, Stephen Baker, Benny Watson, Mac Johnson retired. Jack Marshall's 2 laps down, 33rd. Is he going to be able to stay top 10 in points? Friesen currently scored 23rd. He might need some more there. Joe Jefferson, a lap down. Nathan Stapleton, a lap down. There's Carson Bowers, a lap down. Griffin Lynn is a lap down. Sebastian Kukelman, a lap down, 28th. Louis Jack Table, a lap down. Steve Larker, a lap down. 25 cars on the lead lap. We'll scroll through slowly once again. Out front, Jonathan Buford, Jay Jefferson second, and third, you have TJ Henley, but he's behind 3 lap cars. And they have another lap car in between. 4th, Justin Zidell. 5th, Luke Rainey, Lloyd Gambit. And then you have Galloway, Bouchard Jr., and Cole Luigi at your top 10 as we are back racing. Look at the restart for Jay Jefferson with 9 laps of racing to go. They're already pulling low on that 33. Jonathan Buford, he has some lap cars in between he and 3rd place Hanley. To the inside of the 33 he goes. Hanley trying to get by those 3 lap cars, but he falls back a little bit. It's a 5-car breakaway, 2 of them bound for the race lead. Jay Jefferson clears. He's out front. Buford falls back. Now there'll be a few lap cars in between he and 1st place Jay Jefferson. 8 laps of racing to go for that 78, but he does go up the racetrack a little bit. Steve Larker couldn't take advantage. Jack Marshall trying to get one of his laps back. He's currently scored 33rd. Here comes the 23 Hanley. There's going to be another lap car in between he and race leader. Jay Jefferson has so many lap cars between he and 2nd place, 3rd place on back. Now 7 laps of race to go. Jay Jefferson still leads. Up the racetrack he goes. Jack Marshall looking low in the 22. He's going to take it. Marshall going to get one of his laps back, but it's going to put the 70 on the outside. Octavo gets a lap back. Kukulon trying to get a lap back. Here comes Hanley. Here comes Zidell. Here comes Buford. Jefferson still trying to get down low. Does he have a hole? He doesn't. Kukulon drives to the inside. 6 to go. Zidell for the race lead. Buford to the inside as well. Hanley going to try to get down there. Gambit trying to get down. Jay Jefferson and Zidell are side by side. Justin Zidell takes it, coming to 5 to go. If the yellow were to come out, the race would be over. Justin Zidell leads. Jay Jefferson on the outside fighting back. Jonathan Buford 3rd. He's looking for a second now. He sets up the track. TJ Hanley is here. And then the battle on back. Jake Galloway's won it. Currently, 4 cars breakaway with a chance at the race victory. Zidell, Buford, Hanley, and Jay Jefferson back there. Galloway and Larry Bouchard Jr. battling hard. We have 4 laps of racing to go. And out front, you have the 33 trying to run down the 20 along with the 23 there in 3rd. 3 cars break away. Then there's 2 lap cars between them and 4th place Jay Jefferson. We're coming to 3 laps to go. It's not over yet. And Jay Jefferson's fighting back in the 78. 3 laps left. Justin Zidell trying to hold off Jonathan Buford. He goes up the racetrack a little bit. Buford to the inside, down the backstretch. It's a battle side by side. Jonathan Buford's going to clear. Hanley and Jefferson are coming back. Buford up the racetrack. Hanley to the inside. They battle off a forward, coming to 2 laps to go. TJ Hanley leads at the stripe. 2 laps left. Jay Jefferson coming back in the 78. Here he comes to the inside. Jay Jefferson clears. And all the lead cars are on the outside. As long as Jefferson does not reckon it might be his race to lose. Coming to the white flag in the last race to make chase 400. We're on the final lap. 3/4 mile left for Jay Jefferson. He's gotten out front late. And now he's trying to hold off the lap cars and the lead lap cars. A little high as they come off turn number 2 and down the backstretch. Can anyone close? Hanley is the closest competitor. Jefferson high in 3 and 4. Can he make it to the finish line? Hanley slow with an issue. And Jay Jefferson will battle the lap cars to win at Richmond. How about that for Jay Jefferson? He was not in a position to make the chase, but he just showed that he could have made the chase if he was just consistent throughout the season. A win here at Richmond. Hanley had to come down the pits for some issue there in the 23 car. He scored 25th. So from second in an issue there at the end, but Jay Jefferson allows him to win here at Richmond. Let's go check the finishing results and see who made the chase. Here are the finishing results from the last race to make the chase 400 at Richmond. There were 2 caution flags for 10 laps and 37 lead changes, 18 different drivers led this race. Insane race at Richmond, so many different leaders. As Jay Jefferson ends up winning the race, leading the most laps at 10. Jonathan Beefer ends up second, Justin Zidell third. Cole Luigi needed a win. He ends up fourth. He's not going to be able to go back to try and defend his Season 5 championship. John Gambit rounds out the top 5. They have Dale Lightning in 6th, Jake Galloway 7th, Luke Rainey 8th. He's definitely in. Larry Richard Jr. 9th, and Derek Hamlin rounds out the top 10. There's your top 20. Danny Lloyd definitely in with an 11th place finish. And how about this? Some interesting drivers right here. Patrick Smith 14th. How about that for him? Carter Friesen 15th and a lap led. Max Harrison takes over the points lead, 17th. Trey Rainey 18th. He's in. So we'll just see who's able to finish where. Hanley falls to 25th after running second as they came off for some issue there. 25th cars on the lead lap. So Noble's here. Louis Jack Table 27th. They stay inside the top 10 to not steal a wild card spot. Kukulon, they stay top 20 to get a wild card. He ends with 28th. Does Griffin Lynn stay in the top 10? 29th. Does Stapleton get up there and try and get a wild card? 31st. Can Jack Marshall stay in the top 10 to not use a wild card? 33rd. How about Eli Bright, Diego Yepes? How about Alexander Rodesi stay top 10? Does Steven Taylor stay top 10 so he doesn't steal a wild card spot? It'll be interesting, but let's go see who's in the chase for season number 7. Heading into the final 12 races, these are the drivers competing for the championship in the Gatorade Cup Series. Max Harrison, TJ Hanley, Luke Rainey, Louis Jack Tabo, Danny Lloyd, Steven Taylor, Trey Rainey, Alexander Rowe, Griffin Lynn, and Carter Friesen breaks way into the top 10 at the last second. Your 2 wild cards, Jack Marshall in 11th and Patrick Smith in 15th. Beats out Steve Morgan and Jay Jefferson so close he actually got up there inside the top 20 with that win at the end. So how about that? For Carter Friesen, Jack Marshall wins either way. He was going to be in the chase no matter what. If he fell outside, I don't think he was going to be able to fall far enough back. And how about if Cole Luigi had won the race? If he could have gotten 39 more points at some point during the season and won a race, he could have been back in the championship. And Dale Lang, Jeff Bright, John Gambit have to think, man, oh man, if a win, what it could have done. My, oh my. So once again, Max Anderson, TJ Hanley, Luke Rainey, Louis Jack Tabo, Danny Lloyd, Steven Taylor, Trey Rainey, Alexander Rowe, Griffin Lynn, Carter Friesen, Jack Marshall, and Patrick Smith are all advancing to the chase for season number 7. Steve Morgan just misses out with the win. He was a good ways back anyway. He was 46 points back. And then Jay Jefferson was a good ways back as well. He was over 60 points back of Patrick Smith. We look down here. Heartbreak has to be with Sebastian Kukulon. He needed 14 points to stay top 20. He needed 14 points on Yepes and 14 points on Jay Jefferson. Obviously, Jefferson won, and Yepes retired from the race. So Kukulon, with the ill-handling race car, falls outside the top 20 and will not have a shot at the championship. How about that? We just mentioned, you can never rest easy. You may think you're good, but you're never good until you're absolutely good. So a wild last race to make the chase, and now 12 races will start with the tricky triangle. We go to Pocono for the Pennsylvania 400. We'll see how the chase starts, who can get off on the right foot. I'll see you guys then.